After this adventure film, director Cecil B. DeMille only made a handful of movies, while John Wayne had 3 decades of movie making ahead of him. Back to talk about this John Wayne movie is John Wayne biographer Scott Eyman. Now, did he never worked for DeMille again?
No.
Did he ever come close to anything DeMille was doing?
DeMille's ideal actor was Gary Cooper. He always offered Gary Cooper first crack at almost anything he did until a certain point when Cooper got too old. Probably about the time of Greatest Show on Earth, or certainly Samson and Delilah is not a Gary Cooper part.
Right.
But in DeMille's mind, Gary Cooper was the ideal leading man. If he couldn't get Gary Cooper, then he would punt. Then he'd come up with some other alternative. It would be Joel McCrea, or Ray Milland, or John Wayne. He would come up with some combination. But basically, his first choice was always Gary Cooper. That was just the way his mind worked.
John Wayne, in your research, did he have a favorite leading lady?
Well, he loved Maureen O'Hara.
Right.
You know, he knew that they had a special chemistry on screen.
He worked 3 times with Dietrich.
Right. Yes, he adored Dietrich. You know, he wouldn't go into detail about it because there was an off-screen relationship, as well as an on-screen relationship. But they did have a nice chemistry on screen.
Yeah.
You can tell that something's going on, because she had that Middle Europa delicacy about her and that slyness, and he's this all-American.
Yeah, he's so American, she's so exotic.
He's so American and she's so European that it's an interesting combination. And they work well together. And she seems amused by him, and he keeps moving forward, and she's kind of like, you know, just amused by his forwardness. It's a charming relationship.
The boy and the woman.
Yes, exactly.
And Susan Hayward, he worked with 3 times. They were a good match, too.
They were. Although she irritated him on The Conqueror.
How so?
Well, she wanted a little extracurricular entertainment, and he wasn't in the mood, and he wasn't doing that kind of thing at that point in his life, and he was offended by her forwardness.
Saucy lady.
Very.
Yes. Well, moving on. Scott and I are saying goodnight for right now, but we'll both be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern for a lineup of films from Wayne's later years as an actor. But do stay with us now for a film that John Wayne made shortly after Reap the Wild Wind. It has him billed 3rd behind, speaking of somebody, Marlene Dietrich and Randall Scott. So stick around.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Star of the Month John Wayne has to keep a close eye on his gold mine in The Spoilers. Then Wayne plays himself in I Married a Woman. And John has a thing against the women folk in Tall in the Saddle.